And we have Mr. Danny Masry.
Yes.
How you doing today, Danny?
Good.
Okay. Now tell me, what school are you from?
I'm from East Forsyth Middle School.
Okay.
Trailblazers team. Homeroom Miss Long.
Trailblazers team. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the
Homeroom Miss Long.
Miss Long. Okay. I'm sure Miss Long will be glad that you mentioned. Okay. And how old are you?
I am 13.
Okay. And tell me, what book do you have for us today?
I have The Swiss Family Robinson by John Wyss.
You have the classic.
Yeah.
The classic Swiss Family Robinson. Okay. Now tell us a little bit about the Swiss Family Robinson. Okay.
My book is about a family that are traveling from Switzerland. They're moving, and a storm destroys the whole ship. They're stranded, and they're the only survivors, and they make it to an island, and they have to make their own fortresses, and they have weapons from some of the ships, like items, but most of the stuff that they get is from finding stuff on the island, and they have to find a way to survive.
Okay. Yes, that is a very classic book. Now tell me, what type of book is it?
It is a adventure/survival book.
Okay. Now, which one of the Swiss Family Robinsons did you like the most?
I like Jack the most because he is a humorous guy. He's always making jokes, and his dad even says that when they get back, that he should become a comedian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, which was the most exciting part?
The most exciting part was when they were just sitting around the campfire. They hear roars, so they go to their ship. They wait, and then a lion comes out.
Wow. Now, tell me, did this book teach you any lessons?
Yeah, it teaches you, the book teaches you that you have to, for a good community to survive, you have to have you have to be resourceful, you have to persevere, and you have to be kind to one another.
Okay. That's a great answer. Now, if you could change anything about the Swiss Family Robinson book, what would you change?
Well, I would change the part when they're rescued, because I would like to know what happens next.
You want
them to stay longer
after the rescue.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them choose to leave, some chooses to stay. But I would like them not to be rescued, and I would want to know what happens.
Oh, if they stayed there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, have you read any other books by that author?
No, this is the first time I read this book.
Okay, but you would recommend it to your classmates?
Yeah, I would recommend this to anyone who wants a good read.
Okay. Now, let me get you to read a couple of pages from the Swiss Family Robinson. Okay.
The horrid roars grew near. Probably a couple of leopards or panthers scented the boar's carcass, I hoped out loud. I was wrong in extreme. Soon a large, powerful animal sprang from the underbush and bounded toward the fire. It was a lion, one much larger than any I had seen in Europe. The dog slunk behind the fire. Mercury shrieked and ran up a tree. The lion sat almost like a house cat on its hind legs, eyes alternating between the dogs and the giant boar hams hanging nearby. His tail twitched in irritation. He got up, started pacing, giving a series of short, angry roars. I expected him to spring at any moment. When he noticed our boat, he crouched at the water's edge as if to leap at us. We had maneuvered it far enough away that I doubted he could reach us, but near enough to give the dogs gunfire support. My sons held fire, awaiting my command. While I tried to decide whether to open fire or retreat, the sharp crack of a rifle rang through the darkness. "Fritz!" everyone exclaimed. Everyone. The lion sprang to his feet with a fearful roar, then stood shock still. He tottered, sank to his knees, and rolled over motionless on the sand. "We're saved!" I cried. "What a shot! Right through the heart. Row for shore, boys, but stay aboard. I must join my brave Fritz." The dogs were glad to see me, but they continued to whine uneasily and look toward the woods. This seemed good advice, so I kept careful watch along with them. Seeing nothing of Fritz, I lingered by the boat. Suddenly, a lioness bounded from the shadows into the firelight. She paused at the blaze as though startled, then padded around the edge of the lighted area and roared. When she came to her mate's body, she touched him with her forepaws, sniffed and licked his bleeding wound. After a moment, she raised her head, gnashed her teeth, and gave forth the most dreadful sound I have ever heard, a mingled roar and a howl of grief, rage, and revenge, all in one. Crack! I saw a wound open in the lioness's right forepaw. I raised my gun, and the dogs gathered courage and charged. My shot wounded the lioness again, but not mortally, and the battle was on.
Okay, now I want to thank you for that fine reading, Danny. For some reason, it makes me think about when I read The Lord of the Flies and how they were on the island. And
I read that too. It was a good read.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. For some reason, that just came up. Thinking about the Swiss Family Robinson, I started thinking about The Lord of the Flies. But I want to thank you. That's a fine reading. That's an excellent book, and